All right, Coach, it is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is taken at his 4. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Go. 20. Check right 54. Right 54.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Gordon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Working from the gun, Wentz. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Let's go. 15-1. 15-1. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Kill. Look at me. Go. Ready.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Evans. And they're able to get this one.
Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there at a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It'll be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 7. His throw incomplete. Michael Pruitt, the big tight end, is intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
Complete to Bryant. And a tackle going to be made at the 41 as they stop him a few yards short of the first. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, Sanders. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Eagles defense able to hold. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. 82, 40.
Wentz going to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25.
1st down, Philadelphia.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now Gordon. Gordon loses the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Pac-Man. Waiting. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wentz into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
On 2nd down, it's Evans. And down he'll go at the 25. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
8, read.
In your face.
Hey.
Motion. Bumps up the helmet. Here we go.
Get it.
On first down, Evans. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Ready. 10 over. General West.
A gain of 2 brings up 3rd and 7.
Snap.
To throw is Sanders. To throw on 3rd down. He finds his target. It's Evans. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard. You probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
Watch out. Ready.
On first down, they run with Howard. Howard has the first down and then some. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. We're scoreless after one. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Sanders operating from the gun. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
And the sense I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Now a give right side. It's Evans, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
It's a loss of a yard, bringing up 3rd and 12.
Two running plays, each lose a yard. They'll need to do much better now on 3rd and 12.
97's the mic. 97.
Here's Sanders. From the gun, he'll throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. James Washington, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
At their own 35-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, Everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Here we go, D. All day, defense, all day. 74.
Now Wentz. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Down. 60 or. Army. Check 26. Kill. Leo. Go.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Evans, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
That's a gain of 8. Makes it 3rd and 3.
On the ready.
57, Mike 57. Hey, D-line, let's get in there.
On 3rd down. It's Evans, and this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Boswell's kick is good, and the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Here we go. Rip. Waiting. 54.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Sliding out of the pocket. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Here we go. He's checking, he's checking, he's checking. Crash, crash.
On second down now, it's Evans. And he takes it across midfield to the 45.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Topper! Now!
On third down, it's Evans. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now Sanders on 1st and 10. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Melvin Ingram dropping the hammer off the edge. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Yep.
97's the mic, 97's the mic. Hey, watch the ball, watch the ball.
Hey, orbit.
97's the mic.
Back to throw. Sanders toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Ryan Switzer, the intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. On 4th down, on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Watch safety green.
Grade 15, grade 15.
Here's Wentz to throw. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Go. 280! 54! And I'm coming after you! I'm coming after you!
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that will be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Eagles send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over.
Here we go! 8, read.
On first down, Evans. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
What we go, team? Spill. Jim. He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Deep grip.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Brushing off defenders. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Here we go. Set. 10 logo. Check the out. Check 31. Check. Kill. Look. Squeeze. Let go.
On second down, it's Evans. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Who got 17?
Sanders now operating from the gun. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing is Wentz. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now a fair catch taken, maybe a yard or 2 shy of midfield. Well, not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
Let's go now. 60 outlaw.
You're not ready. You're not ready.
They'll run on first down. It's Evans. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up second and 11 at the 50-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's second and 11.
X3, 218, chopper.
SOS.
Bam, get it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a lot of talent on this Eagle defense, and you've seen it on these last 2 plays, both losses. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. So we reach halftime here in the Steel City with the Steelers on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. This will be taken short. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
61, matchbox lights.
Check. Joker.
Now.
To throw is Sanders. Looking to throw on second down. And the grab made by the tight end Pruitt. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable second and 1.
Alert 3.
80 weapon.
97's the mic.
It's going to be a long...
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. Moncrief brings it in. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Dante Moncrief, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. but I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, his first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Grade 15.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Hey, let's get some pass.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Open man is Pettis. It's complete. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Wentz. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
And an Eagle first down.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Give me that ball. Kill.
Mike 5-4.
Hey, exit.
Mike 5-4. You.
Wentz. Open man is Samuel, complete. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Wentz to throw again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Sunday. Hey, Ford, Tokyo.
He's crazy.
Outside, solid. Bravo.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. This will be caught inside the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That really sets them back, a loss of 6.
Brings up second and goal at the Steelers' 14.
On second and goal, Wentz. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? To throw is Wentz. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Artie Burns. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yeah.
And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 40, the 30, 10.
Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 24. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Well, free safety blitz, that can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Throwing now is Wentz. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this 3rd quarter.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Wentz now to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Justin Lane. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Check, lucky.
On 1st down, Evans. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Evans. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Go.
On third down, it's Evans. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Fourth down now after a loss of 2. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Well, one of the few things that's gone right for them, likely a little too late, but maybe a little feather in their cap.
I think so, and to me, they played that play without looking at the scoreboard, without worrying about where they were in the score, because things haven't gone right, as you noted, for them much of this game, but they gave great effort there and picked up a defense that's had its share of troubles in this one.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. They'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. There goes Melvin Gordon. 30, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Melvin Gordon, 77 yards. And the Eagles get a score closer. Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2. They're going to give it to Gordon. And this time he'll be stopped short of the goal line. He might have been out of gas after the long run. In any event, the try for 2 fails. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number, kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
Check 25. Check 25. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet bomber. Get it.
Sanders to throw on second down. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Nick Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime.
Hey, Sam off.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away.
Come on, man. Let's go. At their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Here we go. 120. 54. Hey, man.
On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
1st down, Philadelphia.
So following the run by Gordon, here's 1st and 10.
Cut. Shift. 87.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And now here's a deep shot that's complete. 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Curtis Samuel with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
Now Wentz to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Oh, and now some space to operate. And now off to the races down the right side. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and that will make this a 19-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a desperate, and now here is another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6.
Working from the gun. Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
On 2nd and 10. Wentz. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down.
Here we go. Back. 180.
What's the run?
To throw, it's Wentz. And my goodness, another interception. It's Devin Bush, the linebacker, who picks it. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Here's a 2nd and 7 now from their own 7.
Yeah. That's me. Yo, Cheetah, hit it.
They'll keep it on the ground. Evans. And this will be a gain of right around 3 from the 7 out to the 10-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and run for it. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
Here we go. 180.
54 Mike. Who that?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And a great return as he takes us up just shy of the 45. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It give it and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, and now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Eagles. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race, and he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Now Wentz going to lead the Eagles up to go for 2.
Defense wins championships, baby.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Wentz. toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. They had the big play on the fumble return. They were looking for the 1-2 punch, but they couldn't get that two-point conversion.
And I have to wonder, were they scheduled to go ahead and kick the extra point, but after a play like that, you talk about the 1-2 punch, right? It's a momentum play. Go for two and really try to capitalize, and that's what they attempted.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Switch. Rock it. Switch. 36.
They'll keep it on the ground. Evans. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to face a third down.
Come on, set. 10-2 start. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be a long day.
And they give this time to the tailback. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided.
Ready.
I'm going to come back to you. Watch the eye.
Get it.
They'll run on first down. It's Evans. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for the Steelers, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.